everybody. Today we will discuss the asymmetric dihydroxylation. In the usual dihydroxylation, we will get a trans product. But the speciality of the osmium catalyst is that always the addition must be in the syn. And since the osmium tetroxide is used for a dihydroxylation, so our final product is a dihydroxide. And our starting material is alkene. See, this is the reaction in which the starting material is an alkene and the final product is a dihydroxylated alkene. And as we said earlier, the product is syn product. Both the OH group are approaching in the exist in the same plane. Now, what is the chiral catalyst for this dihydroxylation? So chiral catalyst is a AD mix. AD mix means it is a mixture of all the reagent such as DHQ2 and DHQD2 that we will explain in the following slides, and except one of the reagent, that is MESO2 NH2, is known as AD mix, and we can purchase commercially this AD mix. And we can purchase two type of AD mix. One is AD mix alpha, and which contain DHQ2 PH PAL, and AD mix beta, which contain DHQD2 PAL. Now we are moving into the detailed description of the AD mix. See here, in this alkene which is treated with this reagent, here we know that, as we said earlier, the reagent is the osmium tetroxide. But osmium tetroxide is volatile and toxic. So usually we are adding K2OSO2, OH 4 times, as a reagent for generating osmium tetroxide in our reaction medium. And during the oxidation, we are using the reoxidant. That is, this reoxidant is used for regenerating the oxidation of the osmium tetroxide. Usually we are using the reoxidant as K2, K3, FeCN 6 times. And we are also use K2CO3 and MESO2 NH2, which will speed up the rate of the reaction and which will also create the regeneration of the catalyst. See here, these are the reagent which will include in the which will known as the AD mix. See here, this is the AD mix, and these are the AD mix compound. So our ultimate reaction is the alkene by using K2 osmium O2 OH 4 times and K2CO3 and K3 FeCN 6 times, which is used for reoxidant. We will get the dihydroxylated alkene. Now see here in this we can see that DHQD2 twice BHAl. This is, we know that our starting material, that is alkene, is not a chiral compound, and osmium tetroxide is not a chiral compound, and K2CO3 and K3 FeCN 6 times, these are all not a chiral compound, and it is not enantiomeric pure. So how we will conduct the asymmetric synthesis here? For that, we are using a chiral ligand, as we said in the case of, seen in the case of Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation. In the Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation, we use the tartaric acid as the ligand, and which is optically active. So similarly, we are using the ligand as DHQ and DHQ2. So here our ligand is commonly we call it as a chiral tertiary amine as the ligand. And this asymmetric hydroxylation is first discovered by the Sharpless, and he knew that the ligand must be a tertiary amine. So that's why he chose some available chiral tertiary amine as the ligand. So among them, the best one is the alkaloid, which contain dihydroquinidine and dihydroxyquinine. So this is the structure of the dihydroquinine and dihydroxyquinide. But these two structures have a coordinating site, and that coordinating site is the nitrogen. And using this nitrogen, see here, this is the coordinating site, and this nitrogen is used to coordinate with the osmium tetroxide. Then we know that the alkaloid which is attached to an aromatic group in order to ensure the chirality. So this aromatic attached alkaloid structure is known as DHQD2 PAL and DH2PHL PAL. DHQD2 PAL and DHQ2 PAL. And these are the structure of DHQ and DHQD, and after aromatic ring attachment their structure become like this. Okay, now do not worried about the structure, just remember the name DHQ2, and while it will combine with the aromatic ring we will get DHQ2 PAL, and the other name is DHQD2, and these are the alkaloids and it is clubbed with the aromatic ring. So we will, if you use the aromatic ring, we have to add PAL. Okay, so the other alkaloid is DHQD2, and if you are combining with the aromatic ring we will get DHQD2 PAL. Now if this chiral reagent is combined with the osmium tetroxide, we will get this type of the complex structure. I have shown by using figure 1. See the figure 1. This is the entire complex structure of the osmium tetroxide chiral catalyst. And the structure 2 is the schematic representation of the osmium tetroxide. Here we can see that this osmium tetroxide chiral catalyst is just like a pocket, and the alkene is entering inside this pocket, and if they are moving in a correct position, that means the way the substrate interact with the osmium ligand complex will depend upon the final oxidation of the alkene, and the ligand forms the chiral pocket like an enzyme active site. You know that enzyme active site is highly specific. So similarly, osmium tetroxide will create a chiral pocket, and in which the osmium is sitting at the bottom of this pocket. An alkene only approach the osmium if it is correctly aligned in the pocket. And the steric hindrance also forces the alignment, and this pocket is very much attractive towards the aromatic ring. Thus hydroxylation will occur. Now, one of the important point is that if you are using DHQD as an alkaloid for clubbing the osmium tetroxide, we will get an hydroxides, and on which if we use DHQD2, our our hydroxyl group are towards the observer, but if you use the ligand alkaloid as DHD2, DHQ2 part, then our product must be the dihydroxide, but OH group is away from the observer. This is mainly due to the approach of the aromatic ring towards this pocket. DHQD is approaching the alkene from the top, and DHQ is approaching the alkene towards the bottom. So because of this difference, the DHQD will give hydroxide on which the OH group are away from the observer, whereas in the other variety OH group is towards the observer. This is the chiral sharpless dihydroxylation, and this is the stereochemistry of the dihydroxylation. And do not bother about the DHQ2 structure. I have shown the structure just for understanding the complex structure of the DHQ and DHQ2D. Okay. Hope you understood the concept. Thank you.